Video number 8 in the series. Hopefully you've had a chance to practice exercises 11 through 21 in Danhauser's first book. If you haven't, I recommend going back and doing so. Hopefully you've practiced all of the exercises up to this point in Danhauser's book. Especially if you're a beginner, I would not recommend leaving out any of the exercises. Go through each and every one until you feel comfortable with it. In this video, we're going to talk about some exercises with quarter notes, exercises 22 through 31. I'm going to kind of cherry pick here. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to talk about a little bit more in detail about my choice of grace notes for these exercises. But first, like last time, we're going to talk about some syllable reading in Dandelot's book, but this time in bass clef. Although all of the exercises we are doing in Dandelot's book are in treble clef at this point, I think it's such an important clef, bass clef, that we should get started with that as soon as possible. So let's get to those exercises. So this is exercise number 9 in his book. Last time I mentioned that I had hoped you'd go through exercises 1 through 8 in bass clef as well as in treble clef. And these exercises 9 through 12 that we're going to look at have to do with thirds, basically. And again, we're using reference points. In bass clef, the reference points are going to be F and C, as opposed to the C and G used in treble clef. And we're grouping these notes into groups of 3 syllables on the top system, and on the bottom system, we're grouping them into groups of 2. So let's go ahead and do this. Again, I'll give you a count of 4 and say the syllables with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fa, la, fa, do, mi, do, fa, re, fa, do, la, do, fa, la, fa, do, la, do, fa, la, do, mi, fa, la, do, la, do, la, fa, re, do, mi, fa, la, do, la, fa. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's keep those reference points in mind when we do this, and let's begin again. Give you a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, la, fa, la, do, mi, do, la, do, fa, re, fa, do, mi, fa, la, do, mi, do, fa, la, do, mi, la, fa, re, do, la, fa, re, do, la, fa, re, do. Again, when practicing these, make sure that you are using either the stop method or the recovery method. If you're singing with someone else, of course, or if you're saying the syllables with me, you're going to have to use the recovery method. You'll be forced to use it because they're not going to do the stop method with you. You have to keep up with them. And remember that the point of the stop and the recovery methods is that you are not making any mistakes. If you feel like you're going to make a mistake in the recovery method, simply leave some syllables out and it won't be considered a mistake. Well, it might be a mistake, but we're not going to consider it a mistake. We're going to be nice about that. Let's move on to the next one. All right, lots of leaps in this one as well. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fa, do, la, fa, si, re, fa, la, do, sol, mi, do, re, sol, mi, fa, sol, si, re, fa, sol, re, do, sol, mi, sol, re, fa, do, mi, fa, re, mi, do, la, re, si, sol, do, mi, do. Don't worry if your accents don't match mine. Basically, the accents are coming in my reading according to how I'm grouping them. Try not to read syllable for syllable. Try to always group them in your mind, and we'll see the use of that even more later when we get to things like triplets and things like that. Okay, let's move on to the next one. And this is the last one we'll look at. This one has some leaps as well as some stepwise motion. Let's just jump right in and get to it. I'll take this one a little bit slower for those who might be struggling to keep up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fa, sol, mi, sol, do, si, re, sol, la, fa, sol, mi, fa, re, mi, sol, la, sol, do, re, mi, do, fa, sol, mi, do, si, sol, la, sol, mi, fa, re, fa, sol, si, la, sol, do, re, fa, mi, sol, do, re, fa, la, do, sol, mi, do, si, re, fa, re, mi, fa, sol, do, si, re, fa, sol, si, do, mi, do. All right, enough of that. Let's move on to Danhauser and some singing. And this is one of my favorite exercises in all of Danhauser's books. Don't ask me why, I just think it's kind of funny. But I'm going to add some grace notes to this to get the notes that I think might be more difficult for some students. So you can see I've added 2 grace notes before the raise. And that basically my logic here is that some students might have a difficulty getting the re after a rest from the sol. And I would rather not have students thinking intervallically on this, like a fifth up from sol, for example. I'd really rather have them thinking in terms of scale degrees. So just getting that second scale degree re from the do seems to me like a good way to do it if some students might have difficulty with that leap. Some people might be able to do it, but it might be good to sing it with me anyway, just to show that you can do it. And use any other grace notes that you find necessary for yourself as well. Let's warm up to the key of C major with the warm-up that's hopefully become quite familiar to you now. Do, do, mi, sol, la, fa, re, si, do. Okay, and you can sing this exercise in any range that's comfortable for you. You might realize in the videos that we've had up to this point that I generally like to sing things in the range indicated regardless of whether it's comfortable for my voice or not. I'm a baritone and this one is right at the cusp of where my voice breaks into falsetto. But basically the first note is do, and let's go ahead and do it. We're going to take this one again at a tempo of about 100 beats per minute, which is going to be something like this. Always conduct with me. I'm mirroring you in this one, so it's going to be about this tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here we go. And I'll give you 2 beats again. Ready, and do, si, do, re, si, do, mi, re, do, si, la, sol, do, re, do, si, la, do, re, do, si, la, sol, do, si, do, re, si, do, sol, la, do, si, do. All right. Like I said, that's one of my favorites. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, 23 is, in my opinion, significantly more difficult than probably anything we've had up to this point. Let's put in some grace notes. And here's my logic. In the second measure, you can see me putting in a C grace note before the mi, basically because I think the leap there of a major sixth. Again, I'd rather not students be thinking intervallically, although it's a good skill to have. In solfège, generally, it's better to think in terms of scale degrees. So basically, we're going to get the mi from the do as part of the C major triad. And then you can see in the third measure, I've inserted a mi in between the fa and re. And that's just an easier way to get that re, maybe, if that leap were to give some students difficulty. And again, maybe it doesn't give you difficulty, but be good to show that you can read these exercises with the grace notes I put in as well. And then again, using a do grace note in the fourth measure to get the re. And then basically moving on shouldn't be such a big problem until the second to last measure. I also inserted a mi in between the fa and the re. I guess I could have done that in the second system third measure as well, but we'll just leave it at that for now and go ahead and try this exercise. On this one, you can see we've got a quarter rest on the first beat and then 3 quarter notes in each measure, except for the last. Let's try to group the syllables together in this one. So basically we've got sol mi fa, sol mi sol, fa re mi, fa, mi sol do, mi re do, do si la, etc. We've got some grace notes in there, of course, but let's go ahead and get started with this one. Let's do our warm-up. Do, mi, sol, la, fa, re, si, do. So do, mi, sol is our first note, sol. So here we go. Ready, and sol, mi, fa, sol, do, mi, sol, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, do, re, fa, mi, sol, do, mi, re, do, do, si, la, sol, sol, mi, fa, sol, mi, sol, fa, re, mi, fa, re, fa, mi, sol, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, do. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, this one's got the rest on the second beat. Let's put in some grace notes. Okay, my logic here is basically, you can see in the third measure, I've got a grace note in between the sol and the mi, just in case someone might have difficulty getting that mi. I've just made it stepwise. And then you can see the next grace note's a mi, also the same deal, basically, kind of filling in the gap in case someone finds that leap a little bit difficult, even though it's just a leap of a third. And then in the last measure, the first system, you can see I'm going to get the la from do, si, la. So, all right. Again, we're starting on sol, and I'm going to give you 2 beats. Ready? And sol, mi, sol, la, do, la, sol, fa, mi, sol, la, do, la, sol, mi, sol, fa, mi, re, fa, mi, do, mi, re, do, si, la, sol, sol, mi, sol, la, do, la, sol, mi, sol, la, do, la, sol, mi, sol, fa, mi, re, sol, do, do. All right, and that's that one. Let's go on to the next one. So again, you can see that I've skipped a couple here. Nothing really fancy in this one, but let's add some grace notes. Okay, so basically, again, filling in the gap to get the la in the third measure, getting la from do, si, la in the second to last measure of the first system, and getting the re from a do. In this one, we're starting on do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Okay, ready? And do, si, do, re, do, si, la, sol, fa, mi, do, si, la, do, re, sol, la, si, do, re, do, la, sol, fa, mi, la, do, si, do. And that's that one. Let's go on to number 30. And this will be the last one that we'll look at today. Let's also go ahead and insert some grace notes in this one. What do we got? In the second measure, basically putting a grace note to go stepwise up to the do. Getting the do should really never be that difficult, but let's just throw it in there anyway to make it maybe a little bit easier for some. And then in the fourth to last measure, you can see that we're also kind of filling in the gap in order to get the fa from sol. Okay. Last time we started at do, and this time it's going to be sol, so do, si, la, sol. All right, here we go. Ready? And sol, la, si, do, sol, la, do, re, do, si, la, sol, sol, la, do, sol, la, do, re, do, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So you could see that we had a lot of repeated measures in that one. Anytime you have repeated measures, and in general, it's very good to look ahead, because if you got an easy measure and you got nothing else to do, so to speak, go ahead and look ahead to what's coming up and prepare for it. So we'll leave it at that for now. Next time we're going to get to some exercises with mixed quarter notes and half notes. But until then, happy sight singing.